Well, I actually look at it as a gift. I am not supposed to be here, so these are bonus days, and I'm really happy that I have them to see our kids grow and to spend time with my wife. And that was the reason I stayed alive.
The other night she drove back she's been bowling and she's been gone like, twice last week, Texarkana and Conway.
I had a broken heel from falling off of a ladder, and while it was healing, I didn't have antibiotics, and I got an infection which slowly grew in me, and it ended up infecting my blood. So I got sepsis, and then pneumococcal septicemia and DIC, and those are pretty serious diseases. You kind of slough, and so what they had to do basically to save me was to cut extremities off, starting with my feet and my hand and then more of my legs to save me. So I had to lose limbs in order to stay alive, because once you have Levophed, that's kind of where you're at with that. So it was a long healing process, because it wasn't a trauma accident. It was a slow infection, and it took a long time to get over it. It's put the kids through slight abandonment issues, especially our son, because of his age when I got sick. And I was in the hospital for a long time. It's actually been years that I was in the hospital if you add it all up. But it's really changed my life.
Yeah, I was about 5 or 6 when it happened, and it seems like it's been way long ago.
But I do work out of the house. I have to, and I do, I just do anything really that he needs me to do. But really, to be honest with you, he does a lot of stuff on his own.
The fact that he's been so strong and just so motivated to keep going as hard as it can be, I think that speaks volumes to his dedication and how much he loves us as a family.
For sure. I mean, there's nothing to describe what he went through. And many years in the hospital, lots of pain, and physical and emotional. And I'm so full of admiration for him and what he's had to go through to be here. And he definitely beat odds, because they said that he had less than a 1% chance to live, and those are not good odds. So
I had to do a lot of therapy, because I laid in a bed for 6 months, and I couldn't even sit up when I actually passed my swallow test so that I could eat solid food again. I was too weak to lift my hand with the fork. I had to be fed.
I think the process of going through amputations often makes people give up hope a little bit, and so regaining that hope is a tough thing.
But will you make it so large?
I think it's easy to give up hope and to say, well, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna sit in the chair, or I'm gonna not get to that point. But I think people that push themselves to that next level, that say, well, I can, no matter what, I can get stronger, or I can get myself in better shape, or I can, I think that helps shape them, with their future life, for sure.
If you look around my house, you won't find handlebars, ramps, and other things that I could have installed, because I'm afraid that once those things are in, I'll become dependent on using them. So I've tried to stay as independent as possible, transferring with my legs. I do use a chair a lot of the time. Most of the time I am in a chair. But the idea was to stay independent.
The fact that he's been so strong and just so motivated to keep going.
All of the equipment and have everything help me with each movement. It's real important for physical exercise to get up. The bed is not your friend. You have to be physically active. So I've tried to do that and just to limit the amount of things I need to help me so that I stay as independent as possible.
I look at him as the same dad I've always had. He's just a really tough guy. He's fun to be around. He's still willing to do all these things, even with the disabilities he has. And it's quite incredible. The spirit he has, the motivation to keep going on even when things look rough. So
it has caused me to be a lot more grateful for things that maybe I wasn't grateful for before, and maybe sensitive to other things, people with disabilities. And I just think, like, I mean, the best answer is, to sum it up, is just very, gratitude. And like Paul said, just as we see it as him being here as a gift.
You appreciate things in a different way. Instead of moving around and being real fast paced, things are slower for me, so I appreciate things in a different way, our children and my wife. And it's a nice solid dose of humility, which I don't know that I had before I got sick. This checks the box for sure.